Yeah. Okay, fabulous. All right. So first and foremost, welcome. If you are new, I'm Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, all we need is a mat and some space. Feel free to have a beverage nearby so that when we kind of come between our flows, you can grab a sip and get right back to it. Starting off in our comfortable seated position as usual, just taking a couple of moments here to start our warm up as we get ready to go. And as always, that comfortable seated position can be whatever works for you as we get going. We're going to start with our scan of the body, and all that is without any judgment, just noticing how you're feeling today, noticing what's going on in the body, so that as we do get flowing, to have a little bit of space or leeway to give those places that don't feel particularly top notch the ability to maybe modify or take it a little easier. And those places that do feel really good today, maybe you take some of those movements up an extra notch or a little bit deeper. As usual, as you take that scan, I want to invite you to find any initial range of motion that may feel good. So maybe if you found some tension during your scan in the lower back, it's a spinal twist or a nice big stretch. Maybe if it's through the core, it's a lateral stretch. Maybe it's in the head and the neck, so it's a roll of the head and the neck. Maybe it's in the lower body, so you take the legs out long and fold it forward. Wherever you're at, we'll take about 4 nice deep breaths here in this initial range of motion. So just to make this practice your own and get started on the right foot for you. Taking about 2 more nice deep breaths in any of those initial ranges. And then when you finish it out, even out that second side and then bring it on back to center. Nice long spine, back in that comfortable seated position. All right. We'll find just 3 nice, easy warm up stretches. And then the first and second time that we go through our flow, we'll kind of move it a little slower so you have time to get into it. So our first one, we're just going to do our little upper body flow with those arms. The first things first, let's take a nice big inhale and take this arm out and up towards the ceiling. We're going to do one lateral stretch in each direction. So with your first exhale, take that right hand down to the mat. That left arm comes up over top. And then that inhale pulls us through center. Same thing to that second side. So nice and long. And then left hand comes down, right arm comes up over top. Big inhale brings us back up to center. I want you to interlace those fingers, pull them down to heart center, and press the palms forward, tucking the chin in towards the chest and rounding the spine out almost into our cat pose. Nice inhale pulls the palms back up towards the ceiling. Nice long stretch. Exhale circles them down and around. You can place the hands behind the hips or you can interlace behind the hips and then inhale to open up through the chest and pull the shoulder blades together. And a nice exhale to go ahead and release that. We'll just do that one more time through. So big inhale takes those arms out and up. One lateral stretch in each direction. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up over top. Big stretch. Inhale pulls through center. Same thing second side. Inhale brings us back to center. We interlace those fingers, bring them down to heart center, and exhale to press the palms forward, tucking the chin in towards the chest, rounding the spine out. Big inhale takes those palms back up nice and long one final time. And big exhale circles them down and around. Interlace or place behind the hips. Inhale to open up through the chest, pull the shoulder blades together. And exhale to release. Fabulous. Our second warm up is just going to be a roll of the head and the neck. So give me an inhale to that nice long spine. With your exhale, we'll drop that chin to that chest. And then nice and easy, we're just going to roll side to side, right ear towards right shoulder, and then down through center, left ear towards left shoulder, just moving a couple of times in each direction, finding the depth of this stretch that works the best for you. So maybe you take a little further of a stretch, maybe you take a little shallower of a stretch. If you would like this to go a little deeper today, you can take a pause next time that right ear comes to that right shoulder, and then either reach that left hand down towards the mat or around behind the back just to deepen up through that stretch. If that doesn't feel good, feel free to keep moving it side to side. If you found that hold, let's go ahead and move it through center. Drop that arm, left ear to left shoulder, Right hand down towards the mat or around behind the back. Once again, if you're keeping it moving, we've got just a few more breaths here. Next, exhale, drops that chin back to that chest. And inhale, lengthens it back up nice and long to that centered long spine. Fabulous. Our final warm up is just going to be our spinal twist here. Give me that inhale to that nice long spine, or those arms can come up if you prefer that. Our exhale takes us in that first direction. Shoulders turn towards that side wall. Opposite side hand comes to the outside of that knee. Same side hand comes around behind. And then I just want to invite you to move at your own pace here, side to side. Arms can come up or stay low as you move through center. Exhale brings you in that opposite direction. So just nice and easy, side to side here, finding your long spine every time you come through center. And as always, moving at that pace that works best for you. Awesome. Let's go ahead and find 2 or 3 more nice deep breaths. So at least once more in each direction. And as always, just making sure that you even out and hit that second side one final time. And you finish out, bringing it back to center. And if you keep those arms low, just releasing those shoulders. If you bring them high, just release those arms down. Alrighty. So like I said, we're gonna kind of get right into it. The first time that we go through will be a little bit slower just for us to get the ranges of motion and get warmed up a little bit in each of those. So I want to invite you to grab a sip of your beverage, and then we're gonna meet standing at the top of our mat. So making that transition so that we have space to step back behind us. Ooh, and we'll take a couple moments as we get started. Our first 2 movements are going to be our forward fold and our downward dog. So if your legs are sore like mine are, don't worry, we will get a little bit of a warm up here as we get moving for that lower body. Alrighty, so taking your time in that transition, like I said, we're at the top of that mat, so we will step back into our downward facing dog. So having that space behind us. We're gonna start off with just a nice deep inhale to take those arms out and up towards the ceiling. One more big stretch long away from center. With that next exhale, we're just gonna nice and easy fold it forward. So fingertips down towards the toes. And like I said, we'll take a couple moments here. So feel free to have a generous bend in those knees as we get started. Maybe you keep that spine a little bit longer. If you haven't folded forward yet today, it feels a little weird, that's okay. Maybe you alternate lengthening one leg a little bit and then the other. Maybe you rock nice and easy side to side. Take 2 more breaths just here in this fold. Excellent. And then, like I said, our second movement is just going to be to step us back into that downward facing dog. So bend those knees however much you need to, plant those hands, and then step it back and press those hips up and back nice and long. So from this down dog, once again, maybe we start with that generous bend in those knees. Maybe we pedal out those heels, bringing the ears between the biceps, taking just a moment here. Awesome. And our first core move of the day is going to come right from this. We've just got a little several move flow from this position. So we'll start in this downward facing dog. Hips are up and back, legs are nice and long. We're going to step it into our bear pose. So those hips are going to come down as we step those feet in. So the knees float about 2 or 3 inches off of that floor. We're almost in that hands and knees, but there's a little space underneath them. From here, we're going to keep our hips low and step back into our plank. So step those feet back nice and long. We're in that high push-up plank position. And then our upper body movement here is going to be a push-up. So from your toes or knees, we're going to do that full push-up down and back up. When you get back to the top, we're going to press it up and back, downward facing dog. And we're just going to do that exactly like that one more time through. So bringing it down into our bear, stepping those feet in, those knees float. When you get into it, a little hold, and then press it back into our high push-up plank. From that plank, we've got our push-up, toes or knees, down and back up. And then once you get back up, we're taking it back up into our downward facing dog. From here, we've got a little stretch. So we're going to take it to our low lunge, right foot up and back, 3-legged dog, and then sweep it forward. Feel free to use that assist if you need to bring it up so the ankle's under the knee. And then we're going to set that left knee down about once in each direction. Exhale, presses those hips forward for that hip flexor stretch. Inhale, presses the hips backwards, lengthens the front leg, lifts the front toes. We hinge forward with those hips for that hamstring stretch, that front leg stretch. Awesome. Let's take it back forward into that lunge. From here, we're going to make our transition to crescent. There's two ways that you can do this. You can keep your hands down, or for more challenge, we can sweep right up with that knee down, curl the toe under, and then either way, we're lifting that knee, we're pressing up into our crescent lunge. Left heel's off the mat, right knee is bent, finding that nice, long, strong core. If you started with those hands down here, sweep them up nice and long into that crescent lunge. Awesome, little work for that front quad, trying to get that left leg as long as you can. We're taking this to our triangle. So I want you to turn that left heel down, open the arms into our warrior two, lengthen the front leg, hinge forward at the hips, reach out like someone's handing you a $100 bill, and then right fingertips go down towards the mat, left fingertips go up. So trying to stack those shoulders. Now you can set that hand on that leg. You can press it to the inside of that leg, or you can float it just off the leg for a little more core work. From here, we're bringing it back up tall. Inhale, lengthens that spine back up. Back out to that warrior two, bend that front knee, cartwheel it down. Right hand, left heel lifts. Let's take that left foot forward to meet the right, so we're in our forward fold. And then we're going to bring this to our chair pose. Sweeps our arms up, sinks our hips back. Inhale, stands us up tall. And we're back at the beginning. Let's take it back to that forward fold. Fingertips down towards the mat. Let's take it back to our down dog. Bend those knees, step those feet back nice and long, press those hips up and back. 2 times through that little flow here. So stepping it down into our bear pose, bend the knees, they float off the floor. When you get there, a little hold and then step it back to that high push-up plank position. Full push-up from here, toes or knees, down and back up, and then press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more time through exactly like that. Step it into bear. Step it back to plank. Full push-up. Downward facing dog. Awesome. Let's take it to that low lunge on that left side. 3-legged dog, left foot up and back. Bend the right knee, sweep the left foot forward, plant it down. That right knee meets the mat, once each direction. Exhale, presses those hips forward. Inhale, presses them back, lengthens the front leg, lifts the front toes, hinge forward at those hips for that hamstring stretch. Awesome, go ahead and shift those hips back forward. We're back in this low lunge. Same thing, you can start with those hands on the ground, curl the toe under and lift the knee, or for that extra challenge, we sweep it up first and then stand straight up into that crescent lunge. That right heel is off the floor. We've got that nice bend in that left knee. A little pause here, fabulous. Let's turn that right heel down, open those arms, brief warrior two, and then lengthen that front leg. Right into our triangle, hinge towards that left arm with those hips, and then the left hand comes down to the mat, right arm comes up over top. Awesome little hold here. Same couple of options. You can use that leg for support. You can press it onto the inside of that leg, or you can float it away, keeping that long, strong core. Inhale, brings us up tall. Bend that left knee back into that warrior two, cartwheel it down. Left hand, right heel. Step the right forward to meet the left. Forward fold. Sweep it into our chair. Arms come up, hips go back. Awesome, that nice long spine there. Fabulous. Next inhale takes us up tall. And then just bring those arms down. Brief break here. If you'd like a sip of your beverage, feel free. If there's a stretch for a range that's going to feel good, feel free. Take a moment. And then we'll meet back and get moving again. All right, so that's the baseline of our flow here. It's going to be pretty similar all the way through. If there's anything that doesn't feel quite right today, feel free to modify it, change it up a little bit. If there's something that you'd like to move a little faster through, for example, that downward dog to bear, if we're moving a little bit slow, I still want you to find those little holds, but maybe add an extra push-up, and that helps you take that intensity up a little bit. All righty. So finishing that drink, we're going to take 2 deep breaths. So if you're still not quite at the top of that mat, take your time getting there. We're going to start with our 2 nice deep breaths. Our inhale takes us out and up. And our exhale pulls us down and around, settling back to the top of this mat. One more time. Inhale takes us out and up. This one's gonna find our forward fold, fingertips down towards the toes. Awesome. Let's step this back into our downward facing dog. Bend those knees, plant those hands, step those feet back, press those hips up. Nice little stretch for the backs of those legs. Here comes that little flow. Let's take it to our bear. Once you get there, a little hold, maybe an in and an out with that breath, and then step those feet back nice and long into that plank. Once again, little hold, and then right into that push up, knees or toes, down and back up, and then into that downward facing dog. Awesome. One more time through. Here we go. Step it into that bear. Knees are floating. Step it back to that plank. Here's that push-up, toes or knees. Lots of push-ups today. And then downward facing dog. Fabulous work, you guys. All right, let's take it to that lunge. Right foot, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, sweep the right foot forward. Place that left knee down. Shift those hips forward for that first hip flexor stretch. Shift them backwards for that hamstring stretch. Lengthen the front leg, lift the front toes. Shift them forward. If you're ready to lift those hands, curl that left toe under, lift that knee, and if you started with those hands down, go ahead and find your balance, sweep them up. We're in our crescent. Warrior two, left heel turns down, open the arms, lengthen the right leg. Here's that triangle. Hinge forward at the hips, fingertips come down, left fingertips go up. Option to reverse this triangle or revolve this triangle if you'd like to. From here, those left fingertips come down, those right fingertips open up. If that's not right for you today, keep it right where you were. If you found that revolution, bring that right hand back down, those left hands back up, and then lift that torso nice and long and strong. Warrior two, bend that right knee. Let's take a peaceful from here. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Cartwheel it all the way down. Right hand comes down, left hand comes down, left heel comes up. We're stepping to the top of our mat. Left foot comes forward to meet the right forward fold. Chair pose, sweeps the arms up, sinks the hips back. Little hold here, finds that nice long spine, finds those hips as low as you can take from here. Awesome, keep breathing. Next inhale, stands us up tall. Exhale, folds us forward, fingertips down towards the toes. Awesome. Take it back to our down dog. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step it back. Nice, let's find that flow next. Step it into our bear. Step it back to that plank. Find that push up, maybe two. Hips up and back, down dog. One more time through, just like that. Step it into that bear. Step it back to that plank. Here's that push up, or maybe two. And then downward facing dog. Awesome. Left foot, three-legged dog, press it up and back. Bend the right knee, sweep the left foot forward, plant it down. Let that right knee meet the mat. Forward with those hips for that hip flexor stretch. Backwards with those hips for that hamstring stretch. Fold forward. Awesome. Press it forward into that low lunge. You've got those two hand options, so they're either low or we sweep them up. Curl the right toe under, lift that right knee. If you had those hands low, sweep them up here. Find that nice long, strong core. Find your balance. Awesome. Let's take it to warrior two, peaceful, or warrior two briefly. Right heel down, arms open. Lengthen the left leg. Here comes our triangle. Hinge forward at those hips. Fingertips down towards the mat. Right arm goes up. Option for that revolution here if you'd like it. Right hand comes down, left arm opens. If you found that revolution, let's take it back to that centered. Left hand comes down, right arm opens back up. Lengthen that torso. Use the core to pull you back up nice and long. Towards the ceiling. Nice. Bend the left knee. Take it to that warrior two and then bring it to peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Cartwheel it down. Left hand, right heel lifts. Right foot goes forward to meet the left. Forward fold. Chair pose. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Awesome, little hold here. Maybe add a little pulse if you'd like a little extra work for that lower body. Keeping that spine nice and long. One more exhale. Inhale takes us up tall. Circle the arms down and around. Brief break. If you'd like a sip, if you'd like to shake anything out. We've got about 3 breaths, 4 breaths here, nice and easy. Whew, I'm getting warm. Long sleeves is always a mistake for me at this time of day. Sun coming right in my front window. All right. Same as before, take your time coming back to the top of that mat. We're gonna find our 2 breaths. So when you get there, big inhale takes the arms out and up. On this first one, torso stays tall, arms just come down and around. And on the second one, we'll find that fold. Inhale takes the arms up. Exhale takes us into that forward fold. Let's add our halfway lift here. Nice flat back, long spine, just once. Fold it forward, plant those hands, step it back to our down dog. Awesome, let's take that little flow. Here comes our bear. Step those knees in, they float off that ground. Step it back to our plank. Here's that push up or 2. Toes or knees. And then down dog. Excellent. One more time through, here we go. Step it in. Step it out to plank. Here comes that push up, toes or knees. Downward dog. Awesome. Let's take that 3-legged dog, kick that foot up and back. Bend that knee, sweep that foot forward. Take that left knee to the ground, top of that foot meets the mat. Sink those hips forward. Nice hip flexor stretch. Press them back. Lengthen that front leg, lift those toes. And press it forward into that low lunge. 2 options for those arms. Take the one that works best for you. Curl that left toe under. Lift that knee into that crescent. Awesome. Take that nice bend through that right leg. We're backwards on the legs. That's okay. We'll hit that second side next. Let's take it to our warrior 2. Left heel turns down. Open those arms. Lengthen that front leg. Triangle. Here we go. Hinge forward at those hips. Fingertips down towards the mat. Other side goes up nice and long. Option for that revolution if you'd like to take those left fingertips down and open those right arms up. Fabulous. Bring it back around if you found that revolution. Use that core. Lengthen it up. Nice tall torso towards the ceiling once again. Bend that front knee. Peaceful. Flips the front palm. Lifts us up and back. Cartwheels us all the way down. First hand, second hand, back heel. Step that back foot forward to meet the front. Forward fold. Let's take it to our chair. Sweep the arms up. Sink those hips back. Once again, you can add that little pulse if you'd like that little bit of extra work here. Awesome job, you guys. One more exhale. Inhale stands us up tall. Let's fold it forward. Fingertips down towards the mat. Here comes that halfway lift. Flat back, long spine. Fold it forward. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step it back into that downward facing dog. Awesome work, you guys. Take it into that bear. Step those knees down. A little float here. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Step it back into that plank. Here comes that push up, maybe 2. Choose your option there, toes or knees. When you get back to the top, downward facing dog. Nice work, you guys. One more time through just like that. Let's step it into our bear. Step it back to plank. Take those legs nice and long. Here comes those push-ups. 1 or 2 toes or knees. And then downward facing dog. Awesome job, you guys. All right, here comes that second side. So 3-legged dog, left foot up and back. Sweep it forward, plant it down. That opposite knee comes down to the mat, top of the foot meets the mat. Exhale, presses those hips forward. Inhale, presses them backward. Lift that front toe, lengthen that front leg, nice hamstring stretch. Pressing forward into that lunge. 2 options with those arms. Keep them down or sweep them up. Curl the right toe under. Lift the knee, press it up. If you started with those hands down, then go ahead and sweep up. Find that balance right into that message. Awesome, that nice bend through that left knee. Those hips face forward here. And now we're going to turn them out as we turn it down into our warrior 2. Right heel, open the arms. Nice bend through that left knee still. Triangle, lengthen the left leg. Hinge forward at the hips. Fingertips come down towards the mat. Right fingertips go up. Option for that revolution, if you'd like to take that right hand down and open that left arm up. Again, if that's not right for you today, no need to take that revolution. Awesome work, you guys. You look great. If you found it, bring it back. Right back to that regular triangle. Use that core and then bring it up nice and tall. Awesome. Right back to that warrior 2. Bend the left knee. Peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Cartwheel it all the way down. Left hand, right heel. Step the right foot forward to meet the left. Here comes that chair. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Once again, option to add that little pulse if you want that extra. One more exhale here. Inhale takes us up. Circle the arms down and around. All right, little 4 breath break. And then we're bringing it back to it. I've got just a few more options to take this flow up an extra notch. We're at right about 30 minutes here, so we've got about 10 left. Whew, all right. Okay. So once again, taking your time, bringing it back to the top of your mat. We're going to find our 2 nice deep breaths. So if you're still transitioning, still take your time. Inhale takes the arms out and up. Exhale just brings those arms down. Once again, inhale takes the arms out and up. Let's fold it forward on this one. Fingertips down towards the mat. Halfway lift brings that nice flat back, long spine. Hands up to those shins or those thighs. Exhale, fold this forward. Step or hop those feet back into our downward facing dog. Awesome, awesome. Let's take it into that little flow. Let's for our bear. Knees come down. Hips are right over top of those knees. Step it back nice and long into that plank. Give me that push up or 2. Don't press up into that down dog quite yet. We're going to add 4 mountain climbers. So from that plank, we've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and then downward facing dog. One more time through, just like that. Let's step it into our bear. Step it back to that plank. Here comes that push up or 2. When you finish that push up or 2, give me those 4 mountain climbers. And then take it to that downward facing dog. Nice work, you guys. Awesome job, awesome job. Right foot, 3-legged dog. Press it up and back. Let's find that low lunge. Bring that right foot forward. Use that transition if you need to. Left knee meets the mat. Exhale, presses that hip forward. Inhale, presses us backwards, hamstring stretch. Exhale takes us back to the front. Once again, 2 options for those arms. You can sweep it up. Curl the toe under. Lift it up to crescent. And sweep those arms up if you didn't have them up already. Find your balance. Awesome. Awesome work, you guys. Warrior 2 to triangle. Turn the left heel down. Open the arms up. Lengthen the right leg. Hinge forward at those hips. Fingertips towards the front of the room. Fingertips come down. Left fingertips go up. Awesome. Option for your revolution if you'd like to. Taking it around. If you find that, let's go ahead, bring it on back. Right back to that triangle. Use that long, strong core to bring it up back to our triangle, nice long torso. Awesome. Bend that right knee, peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Let's cartwheel it down. Right hand, left heel. Now option to take this up a notch, you can transition through our warrior three. So pressing straight up to that little bit of a balance, taking that right leg nice and long, that left leg out behind, and then go ahead and step that left foot forward to meet the right, forward fold into our chair. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Awesome. Add that little pulse if you want that extra intensity here on this chair. Nice. Find one more exhale for me. Stand it up tall. Fold it forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Fold it forward. Step or hop it back into our downward facing dog. Nice. Let's step it into that bear. Knees bend, bringing it down. Little hold there. Step it back to our plank. 1 or 2 push-ups. Here we go, toes or knees. When you finish that out, we've got those 4 mountain climbers. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Awesome job, you guys. One more time through, just like that. Let's take it into our bear. Let's step it back to that plank. 1 or 2 push-ups, toes or knees. And then 4 mountain climbers from that plank position. When you finish those 4 mountain climbers, press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Awesome. Let's find that lower body stretch. Left leg, 3-legged dog. Press that foot up and back. Bend that right knee, sweep that left leg forward, plant it down. Right knee meets the mat. Top of the right foot meets the mat. Exhale, press those hips forward. Inhale, presses those hips back, lengthens that left leg, lifts those left toes. Nice. Press it forward once again into that lunge. Here comes that crescent. Hands up or hands down. We curl that right toe under. We lift that knee. Finding that nice long torso when you hit the top. Finding that nice strong core. Fabulous. Turn that right heel down. Open those arms up. Warrior 2. Let's find that triangle. Lengthen that left leg. Hinge forward at those hips. And then those left fingertips come down. Those right fingertips go up. Option for your revolution. Take that right hand down. That left arm opens. As always, just an option there. If you did find that, go ahead and take that left hand back down, that right arm back up. Use that nice long strong core to stand it up tall. Back to our warrior 2. Bends that left knee. Brings us to our peaceful. Flip the front palm. Lift it up and back. Nice. Let's cartwheel it down. Left hand, right heel. Option for that transition through our warrior 3. Pressing it up to that little balance. Right foot goes back. Left foot is nice and strong and stable. Those arms can be down. They can be out. They can be back. Next exhale, steps that right foot down next to the left. Chair pose, sweeps the arms up, sinks the hips back. Awesome job, you guys. Nice long spine in this chair pose. Looking good, looking good. Maybe add that little pulse. Nice. Give me one more big inhale and exhale. Next inhale, stands us up tall and circles those arms down and around. Awesome. Shaking it out just a little bit. We've just got a few minutes left here. Grab a sip if you need it. Alrighty. So to finish out, we're not going to do our full flow all over again because we would run out of time, and I do hate running out of time with you guys, but so it goes. We only have, unfortunately, 40 minutes together on these lovely Wednesdays. But we're just going to finish off with just a little stretch just to kind of cool us down, similar ranges of motion that we found. So just go ahead when you're ready, meet me at the top of that mat. We're going to find a nice big inhale to take the arms out and up. Go ahead and fold it forward with that exhale. Here comes that nice stretch through the back of the legs in our forward fold. Same options as the beginning. Maybe you've got a little less bend than you did at the beginning. Let's find our halfway lift. Nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us forward. Here's that stretch in our downward facing dog. Bend those knees, plant those hands, step those feet back nice and long. Press those hips up and back. Once again, maybe we pedal out those heels. Maybe we take a moment here. Awesome. Let's take it into our child's pose. Set those knees down nice and wide. Sink those hips back towards the heels. A nice release of that lower back. Nice stretch of the shoulders. If it feels good for you, go ahead and feel free to walk those hands over that right side of that mat for a little bit of an extra stretch for the left side of the body. If it doesn't feel good, feel free to keep those hands right down center. And if you did find that right side, let's go ahead and walk those hands through center over to the left. Awesome. Go ahead and bring those hands back to center. We're going to take it forward into our cobra or baby cobra. So as always, I'm just going to bring my knees in just slightly and then press those hips down to the mat. Your full cobra is right here. Your baby cobra is right here. If the lower back isn't quite feeling it today, take your option that works. Excellent. Go ahead and curl those toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Keeping the legs as long as you can, let's walk those feet forward to meet the hands. So try and find just a little bit of an inching forward, finding that stretch to the lower body. When you have to transfer all that weight, transfer that weight to those feet. Nice and slow, go ahead and roll it up to our extended mountain. When you get to that top, that nice long torso, take those arms up. Let's find a lateral stretch in each direction once you get there. Right hand down, left arm up. Inhale brings us through center, other side. Inhale brings us back through center. Exhale circles us down and around. Let's finish off with one more nice deep breath. Inhale takes those arms out and up. Palms meet up overhead. Let's pull those hands down to heart center with our exhale. As always, thank you so much for joining me on this lovely Wednesday morning or early afternoon. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a great long weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. The light in me honors, the light in you, bowing as we say, namaste. Whew, all right. Nice job, you guys. Thanks for being